Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Tales of Arise. Today we're going to central level? No. Central. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Is that where the HVAC system is? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go see what's up with him. I guess technically they take the form of women, but still.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
Maybe not.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated.
That's like a brain.
Therefore, if you destroy the core, the great spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
So give it a
How are we supposed
lobotomy.
to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden.
Ooh, that's us!
They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the
That doesn't
Renis
sound
Alma
good.
to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shionne described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
We're not doing it though,
By my
Shionne.
calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
No, it said
So it
invariably
really will
erased.
kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the great spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses.
That's
of
not what we
action when
asked
the
you.
most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shionne that she wouldn't die. That we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
Yeah, but as you've probably noticed, we're pretty
It is
irrational.
vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Yeah.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive it.
Shionne, you're a Horcrux!
So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be.
Yeah, I got a question though, like, how does it get passed on? Is it like from mother to
Without
child?
the Maiden's direct control
only, like,
over the Great
girls?
Spirit, attacking it is futile and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well,
He's
can it?
quiet.
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
But containing's not
However,
killing.
Doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply
Doug,
too
I don't
great.
think you
What does that
know
mean
that
for
you
us
actually
if we
have
won't
no
allow
choice
it?
in what we do. Or saying what we do.
Your starship will not be restored. and you will all be unable to leave here.
Okay, how about this? We do what you say,
Why you?
and then we actually just don't do it.
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
No,
Whatever
agree
we
to
do,
it, and then
if
when we
mess up
leave, we
Dahna's
just
crew,
don't do it.
The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dahna from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process.
Yeah, we're too
If all you're gonna do
important.
is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Dogs, you could just lie to him.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Rena's Alma are my species' greatest achievement.
Excuse me.
I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Rena Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Rena's Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dahna's
That's
astral
convenient.
energy.
What's with the fireflies
So our
over
only
there?
option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet.
Sorry. Don't
What
really
will
wish this
happen to
cough would
Rena
go
once
away.
it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Wait, have you seen the planet?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing
All
it
right,
for
done
you,
coughing. Sorry about
or
that.
because you told us to.
I'd like to
Remember that.
comment on some of that stuff, but I was too busy actually
It
coughing
matters
my
little to
goddamn
me.
brains out.
The end result shall be the same. Repair
I
work
feel like
on
I'm
your
actually about to
starship
cough
has
again.
commenced.
God damn it.
You'll have to wait until it's finished.
I've waited long enough. What do you mean the truth?
Is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person?
I mean, he
Swear
seems
I
like
can
he's
feel
an
my
android.
brain starting
It's
to
an
fry
android.
after listening
She's
to
an
all that
android.
complicated stuff.
Don't worry.
He's a
We're
dude,
mostly
she's a
done with
dude,
him.
it's a dude. We're all
Now all
dudes.
we have to do is rest up and wait.
All right, but I'm not
Once
gonna
the
do
Fall
that.
Knights is good to go again, we'll be taking off for Rena right away.
How about we take off with Dahna right away, and then Chronos can make some goddamn accessories and maybe do the arenas.
Is the Rena's Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit?
It's like a giant
There
Pokeball.
has to be another way, right?
Shionne's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Can we make
Back in
like a couple
Calabria,
of
the Blazing
Dark
Sword
Master
was able
Cores
to
and just
take
kinda
in a whole
separate it?
spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you.
I did take down a wall.
Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel.
That thing was not
Even
paltry.
if I could use the Master Core,
Very much
your
not
body
a
wouldn't be able to
chicken.
take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it.
That's
and
not
it did
what
not
paltry
seem the
means,
type
Chronos.
to skimp on
Shh.
details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
That's it? Alright, so I guess we're going back down to the lower... Hi! It'll take some time to completely repair your airship. I suggest you all get some rest in the interim. You gonna do that voice, Chronos, with all the coughing? Yeah. It's annoying. I'm like, I don't feel sick. I felt sick for like a day or two. I don't feel sick anymore. This coughing's gotta go, though.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Dahnans further reason to resent us.
I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like not
But you
even
still
on the
intend
top
to confront
3.
this truth head on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan.
You know, for all the shit they've done.
You changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light.
Yeah,
Thanks
one
to
person
your
doesn't make an
reforms,
entire race
we
of
were able to stand
assholes.
next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives.
After we took
Of course,
down,
I'm sure there were some
like,
Renans who
Kizelek?
still
Yeah.
hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Dahna.
They really need to show that more for me to start believing
That
that.
is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding.
Go to Lenegis and try that
But as soon
with
as
the
you
people that were
stereotype,
considering you a scum
that
and a
chance
slave.
goes away, and you
See what
start
happens.
thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Dahnans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
A deer, a female deer.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
What, as his former owner of you as a slave? Yeah,
hadn't
maybe,
actually
I
thought of
guess.
it that
No,
way
not
before.
really, actually.
But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
This game's very idealistic of how people would react. And actually kind of bad at showing that the Renans aren't assholes.
Why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Or for stopping her from getting the
Apologize?
vengeance that was rightfully hers.
For what?
I was being real stupid before.
Yeah?
About whether Dahna's will had been controlling us and all that.
No, I was thinking about all the other times you've been stupid.
I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dahna's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
Which would take its toll, sure.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning.
And the first time
Even
you
if
used it
that
was
meaning
blasting Law away
was
from
only
killing his
helping
own
you guys
dad.
fight.
That was a
Then,
good scene.
When I felt Dahna's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
She lied.
Yeah?
Stabs him.
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dahna's energy probably is too.
I mean, wouldn't
So
you always
saying
feel
there's
that
a little
in
bit of Dahna's
Dohalim
will
and
inside
Shionne?
each of
The whole
us?
darkness stuff?
In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dahna's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dahna's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dahna's astral energy inside us...
Yeah. Maybe.
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become.
I really enjoyed this game.
So thanks, Rinwell.
Like, I
for
thought it was a
sharing that with me.
fantastic game. The AI is kind of stupid up until we defeated Bolaron.
Uh,
I mean, they kind of lost me a little bit when they started preaching about, like, not going after Almadria
To
for
be
vengeance.
honest, the only reason I was
That just kinda
suspicious
seems
of Dahna's
stupid.
Will,
Like, it
well,
seemed
I
extremely
mean, it
stupid.
Mostly was. I
Actually, it
feel
was
like
very
Bill and I had grown
idiotic.
apart
And it made
lately,
no goddamn
and
sense.
I was worried it was
at all.
because...
huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about
That's
it.
right, Law.
No.
Shut up.
What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
I don't know how I feel about these matchmaking stuff either. Like, Alphen and Shionne, obviously, they're classic main protagonists and main heroine falling for each other stuff. Absolutely. I don't like Dohalim and Kisara doing the whole
You sure you don't wanna
flirty
get
stuff.
some rest?
Being that he was her former master and she was a slave,
Can't.
that is kind of
I've
odd
got too much on my mind,
and uncomfortable.
especially knowing how close.
And I
our
just don't
last
like
battle
Law, so I
is.
don't think anyone should ever date him. And Rinwell's a
you
zygote, so
doing,
it's
Shionne?
one of those things.
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
I'm gonna finish what you're talking about. Yeah, when we're done with the cutscenes.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dahna? Although that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Actually, it was a while ago at this point.
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
Not that many wonderful people, actually.
If I
Very
hadn't
few
run
wonderful
into you that
people.
day,
A lot of
I wouldn't
assholes.
have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something
Couple of
more.
wonderful people, sure.
I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do.
Is it stab you?
Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma,
So we might just end up
but
killing
it's
you.
taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
Isn't it technically weaker now?
You can't be serious.
Like on the
Have you
lore
forgotten
perspective?
everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay.
Why is the top of your hair sometimes pink? It's so
You
weird.
should know that I'm not going to give up on
It
you,
looks like a
Shionne.
ribbon.
I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen,
Electric hug? Electric kiss?
okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Electric forgiveness?
Thank you, Shionne.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me.
Anger?
My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand,
That's not the
you
first
didn't
time he
react
touched
at
you.
all. It was so easy for you.
The first time he touched you was
I
when he
don't
grabbed
have
your
words
shoulder
for
and
the
pushed you
shock I
aside so he
felt
could
in
fight
that
the
moment.
Renans.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Alphen, shut the fuck up.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before.
Don't tense up, Alphen. Don't scream.
But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You'll be dead.
You
We
think
all
so?
will.
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I still feel like if we crash Lenegis into Rena, it will solve a lot of our problems. Like all of them? No more slavery. Can't drain Dahna of energy.
Everybody get enough rest?
Probably destroy a lot of stuff that's on Rena.
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
But we have ships, we can
Our
always
task
make a
is
backup
relatively
plan.
straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dahna and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Am I not going to be able to make it back to Dahna?
Repairs
Like,
on
are
your
we on the way
starship
to
are
like the
complete.
final battle?
Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
And in the
Sounds like
bathroom.
someone's a
Law,
peeping
you
Tom.
are a very naughty
Maybe we
boy.
should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Whoa.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Okay.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
What is it?
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot.
Okay.
Understood.
That's what you meant. I'm like, what the hell do you want us to do with,
We gotta go
like,
all the
were you
way
expecting
down
us to do?
just
Drive
walking?
into, like, the center of the
Will
planet?
all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them.
And they're
before
gonna
this is all
die.
over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to
That
save
and they
mankind.
creepy.
We understand.
Oh, okay. That you're okay with that?
Up a bit. Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Don't get me wrong. I'm fine with it if they're
What?
gonna stand in our
Come
way.
on, Doe.
Hold up. Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life
I am old as
expectancy.
F.
Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
I like living. Living's kind of great.
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable.
Yeah, it wouldn't make much of a game if it wasn't.
Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
Do you not understand that I like living?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand.
Alphen, speak up. The music's getting loud.
All right.
Are we
Time to
good?
Get back on the fall nights.
All right. So, what were you saying about the whole? You really enjoying the game up until like after Voltron? Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating the game. Like the gameplay is still fun and all that stuff. Hello? Yeah. But they lost me a little bit with the Almadria stuff. Absolutely. That stuff was just dumb. And they have definitely lost me with this whole fucking this. Anytime they're like, oh, Dahnans need to learn how to put their hatred aside and coexist with Ren, I want to actually reach into the virtual world and slap the shit out of them. Because it's not on the Dahnans. The Renans have come down for 300 years, enslaved and killed fucking a bunch of Dahnans. The Renans that continue to want that need to be held accountable. or else it's stupid. Like, the whole, like, oh, they're just people. Yeah, they're just people that have committed murder, enslavement, and torture, and a whole bunch of other horrible shit.
Its end of the bargain.
You know what that
Oh, but
means?
there's some good people. Nah, where?
This means we should
What
give that
good
warp drive a
people?
spin.
In Menacea, they were forced to be good, and they kind of just developed into it. What about that guy, the guy that dated that the Dahna woman? Sure, okay. Who else? Who else is good? Dohalim? Sure. Anyone else? No? Yeah, because there isn't any. They haven't shown any. It would be different if there was like there were just Renans. It's the easiest fucking concept. Just have a bunch of Renans somewhere that are like slavery and anti-crown contest. That's all you have to do. You have to put them somewhere. Like a bunch of them. Like, not half, fine. Do like 30% of the Renans. Don't want that shit. There you go. Then I can actually start believing you when you say that shit. But a handful of Renans in Menacea being not shitheads doesn't cut it. And they're only not shitheads because Dohalim made them not shitheads. And he didn't even do that as the kindness of his heart. He did that because he had PTSD.
We're surrounded by just stretches out
Yes.
everywhere.
PTSD. There
Is
you
this
go, Chronos.
really where the
You're so mad you can't even
Helgensel
talk.
come from?
I'm not even that mad. I'm just confused.
I don't sense even a trace of astral
Yeah,
energy.
I don't know.
This world is dead.
Good. Let it die.
Then this must be the hollowing.
We're in Dark Souls?
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
Sweet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dahna.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant
Oh,
as
don't
Dahna
jump to
is.
conclusions like that.
But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
It could have been a
So the
goddamn
Great Spirit
garbage
took
heap here.
everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dahna, looking for another host.
Isn't it just draining Dahna? Or is it moving there?
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dahna's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shionne and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there.
Convenient.
Let's take a look.
Destroyed remnants. Rena. Wait. Was that the heroine's name, Star Ocean 2? Rena?
So this is Rena.
Oh, special hours
This
seem
is
to have
where
appeared
everything
throughout
began.
Dahna. Whoa.
Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dahna suffer the same fate. Ever.
I might. We'll read that thing. So there's owls for us to discover. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to run around and find a bunch of owls. So this is the final dungeon. Is that where we're going with here? Oh, we can fast travel. Holy shit. Okay, that's great, because we're gonna go back to Dahna. I got side quests to do. I got owls to find.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
Probably
What do you
become
mean,
Silver
what
Surfer.
would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Throw him in.
Nah, I'll pass.
Throw him in.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity?
What
Law?
happens if you drink
No,
it?
because I
Law,
said I
take a sip.
passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Just cuts to Alphen pissing
Looks
over
like
the
we're not
edge.
going to be hearing the end of
Into
this
the
one
sea
for a
of the
while.
dead.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Challenge of a lifetime.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Rena Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
You weaken it, throw a
I'm guessing
Pokeball at
It
it.
won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shionne's had a lifetime's experience.
Yeah, but that was like,
The problem
she wasn't
isn't
doing
just
that
the
on
enemy's
purpose,
strength.
right?
It's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything.
That
you
was
like
kind of like
it's not
something she
going
was
to just
doing
sit back and
on
let
her
us
on
destroy
her
it.
own,
In other words,
like
we need
without
to
knowing
find
it,
some way to weaken it in
unconsciously. There we
advance.
go.
The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shionne's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Rena Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Bridging the divides.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Oh, there'll be war.
At the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin
Yeah,
deep.
people want to have
What
to
do you
change
mean?
in order to change.
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
that's true. Just as bad if the Dahnans started pressing their own.
Renans, Dahnans, astral art users, mages.
Got a comma there.
The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent.
How dare he have
being good
musical
with their
talent?
hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example.
We can rule all over
Imagine
them
it.
with an iron
A world where
fist.
magic and astral
Don't
art
let
are
you
used to
take on the
help
Renans.
people.
You
Where that's
oppress
the
them to the
norm
point
rather
where they
than
no
the
longer want to
exception.
enslave people. Alphen,
You're
the
right, Dahna.
Dahnans.
Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Anything else? Great. Okay. Great. Look around the area. I'm tempted to do that, but I'm also not tempted to do that. Here's the thing. I'm going back to this place? Oh, you mother... Okay, so there's a bunch of side quests. I mean, this Ulzebek one's been here for a while. All right, let's go pick up these side quests. We're gonna pick up these side quests. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pick up the side quests. And you know what's gonna happen then? I'm gonna
Looks like we made
end
it
the
here in
episode,
one
actually,
piece.
after I pick up all the side quests. And then keeping up with the Helganquil.
Hey, I just realized something.
What?
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What?
What? No, I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Oh my god.
The point.
No, that is the point. Law, what the
Oh,
fuck?
Yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Because they're pretty weak.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
That too.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the
Haven't
Helganquil?
noticed. Actually,
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till
Helganquil
now.
was like bigger, wasn't it?
And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
No idea.
It would mean just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
I guess?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
I don't know. It's still funny.
Now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Thinning the herd.
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Yeah, I guess?
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Yeah, I mean, they probably have one for
Certainly
Dan
in
and
all of
slaves,
my
too.
years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
Oh, nature finds a
There's
way.
also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little
It
harsh?
depends on how many people they
What do
eat.
you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
Okay, yeah, but
You're
if they
right.
go around eating
Zeugles
people,
were
that's a
only
problem.
created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
If they stop
It's a
eating
nice
people,
thought,
that's
but They
fine.
attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Yeah, Law, I actually agree
Aside
with
from
you
the
again.
strays that have
For
gone
like
wild,
twice.
It's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
What? Give me this goddamn side quest. I would like to create accessories soon. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, you're both current generation. Yeah, sure. Demonstrate respect due to elders? What? Look, I just want the side quest, and I want your money.
Excuse me.
You guys are in a competition? Dohlim, you can stab him. Like, you don't have a knife. Neither do you, Kisar. Kisar, you can smash their brains in with your mace, and Dohlim, you can poke him with your stick. What do you want us to do?
Really now?
Yeah, fine. What do you want? You want a certain experimental super type with yours? Okay. It's a failed experiment, injected it from... Why?
What?
That is cruel. But, like, why didn't you just, like, I don't know, put a bullet in its head? Like, if you were gonna exterminate it, kill it. Instead, you sent it out into space, and I'm assuming it landed on Dahna. Because you're assholes. We'll handle it.
Agreed. Very nice.
Six-armed giant. Great. Tissue sample. Got any other horrifying, like, science
line of
experience?
researchers
Oh, it's on
getting
Rena.
longer.
Okay, good,
I
great.
should
That's
have
fine.
put
We don't
more
need to kill
thought
it
into
then.
this before accepting.
Okay. Next up is Pelagian. Level 3. Oh, thank God it's right next to the goddamn telepad. Oh, there's also that beach quest that
We've
probably
reached
came
our
available now.
destination.
You better have a good reason for asking for help. My lord, we received notice from Nautio. It says that the wedding is to be held at the Sexthio Temple. Oh, yeah, sure. Excellent. Thank you for letting me know. At last, it seems the big wedding is upon us. I can ill think a happier occasion than this. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Their future. Woo. See, that's how you give me a side quest. Straight to the point, and then you just give me the side quest.
Saxleo Temple. Isn't that where Shionne was being held?
Maybe.
Wasn't it beautiful? I can't wait for this.
I feel like she's not gonna wait for this.
Hey, Law. Been training?
No.
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state
What
of
the
my
fuck
underwear.
does that mean, Law?
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
She's right behind you.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance?
Also,
Like
fix
I'd be
your underwear or
interested in that
clean your
know-it-all
underwear.
Tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
I mean, I'm
You
with
know,
you on that
I
one.
used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys
I would not
have
consider
anything against, but come
Rinwell a
on,
tomboy.
you've gotta admit she can be a lot to handle.
Also, I don't hear that term that often
Hey,
these
I missed
days.
anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
I think Hoodle's gonna
Wouldn't
win.
be called the spring of youth without a little storm every now and then.
Affection in its many forms. Oh, fucking Christ. Okay.
Hey, Shionne. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know. I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
It's not that complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know.
Look,
And after all, who
brother
can
and
say what
sister
the
game.
future holds? I
a
think
different
if I
kind
were
of
you,
love.
I'd take things as they
You
come.
know, it's a
for now.
JRPG. And that might not be the fact. But
Isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shionne. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
that's true.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
Don't we have to
He
make
might
something
just
for
have a
someone's
point.
title?
I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
He likes it spicy.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team.
That's
right?
true. Anything else? A creepy crawly tangent. My God.
Even after staying
Were they
here,
saving all
we
these
never
skits
truly
for
got to
after
the
I got
bottom
off
of
that
what
space
makes this
station?
realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Dahna are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
Oh, not yet.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's
Well,
not to say
that
it'll
would be
easy,
kind of good for them,
but it will be
because didn't you
worthwhile.
hear how they wanted
These things
vengeance
take
against the
time.
Renans earlier? And you guys were like, no, you can't do that?
What the? An ambush?
Sorry. Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
God damn it.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only
Did you just
natural
try to
insects
shoot a
would feel more
mosquito
at
with,
home
like, a
here than
gun?
Mencia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
Not
I
really.
wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say?
Yeah, it's
What
not
kind
that
of seasoning
uncommon
are we
really
talking?
worldwide.
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Also something you could eat. Apparently Shionne doesn't like bugs and lizards. Alright. No more side quests here? Great. There's a wedding there, but we'll deal with that later. Let's go to Mosgul. Mosgul? Sure. So, what's happening? I'm going to get all the side quests. Then, in between episodes, I'm going to run around, get a bunch of
Always
rocks.
good to be back in familiar
And
territory.
then make a bunch of accessories. Hopefully, we'll get some Mystic Crest accessory rocks, and hopefully they're not just on Rena, but also memories of Caligula.
I never realized before just how hot this place is. It's like being inside a fire.
Yeah?
You're only just noticing? Ah, yes, forgive me. The whole lack of sensory feedback situation.
That's the one. It's hard to believe I once worked in this soup, let alone helped spearhead a revolution.
And all with the mask concealing your face. It must have been very grimy beneath that.
I haven't bathed
Back
in
then,
years.
We had our plates full enough dealing with constant abuse from our Renan overlords. It never occurred to me the air itself.
Actually, I guess
was
I haven't bathed in
oppressive its
300
own way.
years. Good God.
My head spinning.
The
just
layer
with
of
the effort it
filth
takes
must be
to
disgusting.
walk.
I think that's called heat stroke. You might want to take a sip of water.
You mean that water that's been festering under the sun for days? I wouldn't chance it without boiling it first.
Oh, I know. I'll go to the dock and fetch us some clean water.
We don't have our own
alone
water?
won't suffice. He'll need to ensure his sodium levels are replenished as well.
Don't give me salt
In
water.
that case, let's see if we can rustle up some rock salt. Alphen, you go cool off in the shade for a while.
Cast a nice
Shionne,
spell.
Stay and keep an eye on him.
And then there were two.
Cast a nice spell and let me lick
Love
the ice.
reaction. But it's still kind of them.
Maybe it's not the time, but this place brings back memories.
I know what you mean. We're back where it all started.
You don't ever regret meeting me sometimes, do you?
Are you kidding? You started all of this. Bringing down
No.
the wall, retrieving my sense of self. I have no regrets.
Ahem.
Another thing. 1 second.
Oh, welcome back, Law.
We started escaping before she showed up, right? Like, she escaped, jumped on the train that we were escaping on, and they were fighting people with a iron pipe. That sounds about right. Hi, Doc. Oh, Alvin.
Hey,
Hey, Cole, what's up? You don't look too hot, kid. I'm actually freaking hot as hell, man. I'm also really hungry. Even with Renegon, there's still not enough food to go around. That's not good. There's no way to bring some in from outside of Caligula?
Yes.
We have been. Thanks to your hard work, we've managed to establish trade routes and have little food coming in. But other places are not very well off either, so there's only so much we can broker between realms. Especially since this realm is nothing but rocks and sand for the most part.
just great.
That's sad. Well, see you guys later. It just walks away. I wish something could be done. There's still hope. I heard there's a merchant in Cislodia who's visiting Glenia Mita Castle.
How's this?
Would you mind talking to him
Got
for
it.
us? Sure.
Hey,
Meantime, here, have this bread. Well, thank you. Where'd you get it? Shionne's always come prepared like this.
All right.
You should see her purse. It's actually just a refrigerator. Global connection. Yeah, sure. Okay. Uh-huh. Let's go to Uzbek. What's right there? Sure. Think we can actually finally break that rock? that's on the other side of this place? We better be able to, because if we can't, I'm gonna be very confused. What the hell is that? The hell is this?
Hey, she's pretty cute.
Who are you looking at? Quit gawking and
Her?
let's go.
Ow!
The chickens? She is cute. Thank you for the eggs. Chicken tender. Oh, great. Thank you for the eggs, cute lady.
Hey, if we find anyone who needs help here...
I know. We'll make sure to ask what's wrong.
Yeah, and then they can pay us. Hi!
Yeah!
Hey, seems like you folks are staying pretty busy. Oh,
Hey,
you could say that. You seem to be in high spirits yourself, Grinner. Grinner? I try. I like to think I'm good at staying positive, if nothing else. After all, with everyone so scared right now, it's important for you guys like us to stand tall and keep hope alive, right? You said it. Let's get you all down in the dumps. Me, I'm fine, I guess. Well, you don't sound like it to me. If Zephyr saw you like that, he'd be none too pleased. Grinner, cut him some slack. He killed his dad. What did I say? Oh, yeah.
yeah!
Anyways, I just remember that Nate said he has a favor to ask you guys. He does? What is it? You should talk to him yourself. Tell him I sent you. See you later.
That's great.
He scattered off in a rush. That's stuff for Zephyr. I mean your dad. Still weighing on your mind, huh?
I guess.
Killing your own dad does that. I've known every Crimson Crow since I was in diapers, so I know better than anyone just how much they revered him. It's not like anyone's pointing the finger at me, but it's hard to stop imagining. I have pointed the finger at you many a times. Many of times. It's hard to stop imagining that they don't hate me somehow. You want to wait here while we talk to Nate?
Thanks.
No, come along. Not like waiting around is gonna make me feel any better. Mixed feelings, okay? Nope. Sweet. Is that it for quests? No, it is not. We gotta go to Thistleum. We're gonna go find that message in a bottle, baby. Also, apparently I can talk to the dude that rides the ship and it'll bring me to a place. Or drives the ship, not rides the ship.
Finally
I
made it.
ride the ship. He drives the ship. Constant vigilance, Potter.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen. But doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time?
Yes.
You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
No, you guys can
You
scratch it.
bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it.
Also, give me a
even if it's
massage.
not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
She is ripped.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Just whip it out, man.
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't
Frinwell.
it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
Yeah,
You never know when the enemy might attack.
but if we're in town,
Tempting
it's
as it might
fine
be to
for the
take it
most
off,
part.
It's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
I mean, you got a point. If someone attacks you when you're taking a shit, it's gonna be awkward. Guess you could always just fling your shit at him, though. Probably distract the hell out of him.
Oh?
Hey, is this the bottle? You'll get sick if you drink out of a random bottle you pick up. I'm not drinking from it. There's something inside. Oh, a letter. What does it say? Ship sank, drifted to this island, no way off, send help. Seems like they are in a shipwreck and sent this letter out to sea in hopes of being found. Oh my gosh, we gotta rescue them. There's a map in there. It's a rough sketch, but it's got the location of the island. Let's take a boat there. Letter in a bottle. All right. Beyond the grave. Ominous. Sure, I guess we'll do that one first when I actually get back.
Off we go.
Okay. Great. These are mine. Thank you very much. Okay, so in between now. Is that an owl? Oh no, it's one of these things. I thought for sure it was an owl. In between now and next time, I am going to make some accessories, and I'm going to do the training ground stuff. the intermediate ones, the level 40 ones. We already did Alphen's on screen and the group one, I think. We might have not done the group. No, we did the group one. We did 2 group ones. We did a DLC one, which was very ridiculously easy, and then there's the normal group one. So I will go ahead and do the other intermediate ones off screen for the other ones that weren't Alphen. And hopefully I'll be able to actually make those accessories, though honestly I'll probably not be able to. Like, I might need to find those
I think it's safe to rest here
rock
now.
things for the Mystic Quest on,
Hey, Alf.
what's it called? On Rena? As for the owls, I don't know. If I find any when I'm doing the accessory stuff, then I'll
What do
just
you
make a
think of
note
that
of it
chick
and we'll
over
get
there?
them when I start
Doesn't look
recording.
like she really works out.
I'm not talking about her muscles, you dummy.
Like she might do squats. All right, well, that is it for this episode. You know what? Let's come to the training ground just in case there's any more goddamn skits. And then I will end this episode and do this stuff when I get free time at night. I've actually recorded a lot of episodes.
That was quite the little
Like,
adventure we went on.
A wise dolt. We'll hit that in a second. This is episode 70, right? I think today's episode was episode 64. So I'm ahead by a lot. So we're going to let some days go by and we're going to let like the YouTube stuff go and catch up to like, so I don't have a week-long backlog for the most part. Not anymore anyways. But yeah, we will see. A wise dolt.
Sure is good to be back in the pleasant climes of Menancia. Especially after the extremes of some of the other regions we visited.
Definitely. Your country is beautiful.
You do me an honor. However, this place was never mine to own.
I didn't mean it that way. Though, I guess technically you weren't born here either. Native or not, that doesn't change the feelings you had for the place. If I were you, I'd try to take a little pride in people's compliments.
Allow myself
Yeah,
to feel
just
pride,
take
huh?
the goddamn
That
compliment.
sounds like no easy task.
Nothing sounds easy when you overthink things the way you do. It must be exhausting.
Yeah.
He's always worrying about something. It's probably what gives him his eye for detail. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, so we'd noticed.
Let's change the subject, shall we? It's a wonder so many things coincided to bring us here. Alphen's awakening, Shionne's decision to revolt, the Dahna uprising in Calaglia, the crown contest's final, sputtering throws.
Zephyr's being in the right place at the right time. The fact that you happened to be a lord just as this was all going on.
It's almost as if we were brought together by design. By someone who wanted to bring down the system.
No, enough Hand of Destiny talk. We did this on our own steam. It's our
You know, Law,
responsibility to
I
see
agree
it
with you,
through.
dog.
Did Law just utter a pearl of wisdom?
I do think about things, you know. Just what do you take
Like
me for?
cute
exactly?
girls. And boobs.
Honestly, I always sort of pegged you as a likable dolt.
Not really likable, though.
What the hell makes me a dolt, you dolt?
I mean, she did say he was a likable dolt, didn't she?
Let's refrain from poking this particular Zoogle any further. Some lessons just can't be taught.
Not to dolts, anyway.
The real Dohalim.
Hey, Kisara, what's your secret for putting up with Dohalim? I don't know how you managed to deal with him.
Secret? Oh, I don't think it's as difficult as all that, really.
Could have had me fooled. Anyone who waxes lyrical on the aesthetic qualities of cactus thorns is a step too far for me.
And those poetic flourishes he sneaks into regular conversation? How am I supposed to react?
Violently?
He likes the sound of his own voice, that's for sure. I say let him have his fun. No need to try and understand anything he says.
Has he always been like that?
He didn't seem as on edge all the time back in Menancia. Though he was my superior back then. So who's to say what I didn't see?
A lord of Cislodia hid in plain sight while a crony posing as him carried out all his business. What if the lord we met in Vicente was really...
An imposter? Dohalim? Hardly. Like it or not, that's him all right. In all his flamboyant, circumloquacious glory.
That is a word that I don't think I've ever heard.
I'd like to see someone try to impersonate that on a daily basis.
Come to think of it, what with being a lord and all, he's probably never had anyone to speak to on an equal basis.
It wouldn't surprise me. Having you guys around, having a family in a way, must be what's helped him change.
A little heads up on some of his eccentricities would have been nice.
It's those eccentricities that make him who he is.
Anything else? No? My God. That is it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.